Hello. Hello, girls. How you doing? And I hope you're ready to talk about this freaking book. Hey, just eating food and thinking I've already had too much. I hope you're good. I hope you're not going to be commenting in the background. And, I want to hear about your thoughts too. Oh, hi. Me too. Just going to be dying of food coma in the background here. No. Was it worth it? Hello. Just finished the book an hour ago. Really am starting next book sooner this time. Didn't you say that last time? But next time it is for everyone here. I mean, you probably all know, but we're going to be reading Project Hail Mary, and the live show is going to be on Saturday, September 3rd. So you already have the date, but it's going to be on Saturday, September 3rd. And I finished not so long before you. I finished it on Thursday, to be fair. I've read it almost in 3 sittings. Do you say that? Ooh, tabbouleh. Sounds yummy. Hello. I did really enjoy the book, just bad planning. Yeah, don't worry. It happens. It really happens. Don't worry. Ahoy there from Great Britain, where it is, cloudy. Still a bit of sun, but cloudy, and 25 degrees outside. It's not too bad. I have a glass of water and my copy of the Unspoken Name at my side. Same. I have water and the book, and I have notes too. Yes, was hoping for a September live show since I'll be away the Saturday before. Yes, so the live show is usually on the first Saturday of the month after, but just this time I need to do everything this weekend because next weekend is just impossible for me to do anything. So that's why. Yes, nice. Hello. Oh, shoo. Are you far in the book or not? Because we're gonna talk spoilers, so I need to know before we talk about it. But we're here to talk about this book, and I'm really curious to see what you think of it and what the rating is. I saw that I have a few entries on the Google form, so we're gonna go through that as well. And less than 100 pages. I hope it will make sense. Okay, so it's not that much, but it's still something. Let's talk about our overall thoughts regarding the series so far, and then when we go into spoilers, Larissa, I will let you know to decide if I finally want to read this book. I've heard it skipped the exciting bits. Yes, you are actually right. Because I wrote that also on my notes. But yeah. But what is everyone's overall thoughts on the series? I gave it 4 stars. So I think for me it's going to be a 4 stars as well, but I have to enter all the rates into the compile system. But I really enjoyed reading about our main character, Kesorway. And also, something that is a huge plus for me in that series is that if you had a physical book, there is a pronunciation guide, which I spent a lot reading. But I feel like because of all the names, etc., it was really necessary to have it. But if you want to have an overall if the book is its map, in my humble opinion. So here you have a map, and the map is like just a bunch of piece of paper with all the different like kind of world, because they're all connected by some kind of portals. And I really love the way the map is being, I mean, is done, because it's not just an actual map, it's just like pieces of papers. And that shows you how different the story is, how unique the story is, and the world and everything happening in it is different from other fantasy that I have read. And also, you like following the story of our main character Kosoe, who is not human, which I really appreciate. She was not human; she was some kind of like orc. Um, but I did enjoy that. 4 stars too. I gave it a 3 star, although enjoying it was a 4 star, so I'm twisted. Yeah. Uh, Depends what you think as exciting. Yes, exactly. I liked it. It was a fast ride. I never sure, but there are some remarks. The thing is that if you want to go into like the pacing, whatever, which I felt a bit weird, is that there was always something happening for me. But because of the writing style, which I found very calm and kind of quiet, I felt like I did not feel like the tension was there, if that makes any sense. And also, if you read the synopsis, I feel like the synopsis is quite different from what you're getting from the book, because from the synopsis, I was expecting to be like very stressed and on the edge and whatever. And that's not exactly what happened while reading the book. Even though I enjoyed it, I was not scared at any time, which I expected from the synopsis. So I think the synopsis is not one of the best, to be completely like transparent. So it wasn't that fast of a ride for me, but I did enjoy reading it. There are some exciting bits, in my opinion, but no smut or something, but I don't need that. Yes. So this book is definitely queer, because we know of at least like 2 or 3 same-sex relationship. So it's definitely queer, and it felt very natural in the story and everything. So I enjoyed that. And no smut. I mean, that's something that I don't usually enjoy, like smut in general. So this one was. I mean, we didn't have that. And also the romance was. I don't know. It was okay. In my opinion, it was okay. I did not realize there was a pronunciation guide until you mentioned it on live stream. So I missed that. Yes, it is at the very beginning, and I found it very helpful. I, even though I was listening to the audiobook while reading the book, I still appreciate the explanation behind the pronunciation, if that makes any sense. Yes, I love the map as well. Yeah, the map is really giving you the tone of the story, and like you have all these like pieces, and also that at this point, like, yeah, I don't know if I can already say that. But you know how you got like the piece, like the paper left and right from the different world or whatever, and they kind of all linked together, but they're not like stuck to each other. When you check that map, that is not a complete map. It kind of tells you also about the story, that the story is not going to be like a complete story, that we're skipping some parts, that we don't get, in my opinion, enough backgrounds regarding things, that we just skip some, I feel like, important moments and evolutions that I wish we had at one point to actually understand the personal growth of some characters. So the map is pretty. It's telling you how the story is gonna go. So I love that. Does feel like that. Yes, yes. The gates and flying ships had me thinking. This is like that's why I was like a bit confused at point, because I feel like it is definitely like fantasy because of the the way it is written with the magic and everything, but I feel like it is like a bit of both, like almost like space opera, fantasy, multiverse kind of thing. And you have so many different like sentient species, etc., with like different gods and goddesses, and like I wrote that somewhere. Like, yeah, the magic and the technology, whatever, like almost like a, I don't know, a balanced of both. So that's something that I enjoyed. Um, for once, the synopsis really just talks about the setup to the story without spoiling anything. That I agree. That I agree. But I still think that the way it was written, I expected to be really scared. I expected the stakes to be very, very high. That's good. That's good. Sasha, how are you doing today? It's been a while. I haven't been able to see you. Oh, thank you. Hi, Sophie. How are you? We're just talking about this book. But yeah, oh, thank you. Just came home in Australia after cruise trip. Ooh, I hope you had a fun time and that you're not too tired. The romance for me was drawn out a bit too long. I did get tired of the angst by the end. It's just that I felt a little bit the same, but at the same time, I did not mind it that much, if that makes any sense, because it wasn't the main thing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I really love that. Yeah. I only had the audiobook, so I missed the map. That's okay. It's really like a nice map though. Like I really love that. And you can see that all the like the pieces of papers kind of thing are connected, and these are some kind of like the portals or whatever. I mean all the gates in some way. So I really enjoy that. But the thing is that I need your opinion on that. Like for me, Portal Fantasy is some kind of door portal that leads you to another world. Okay? And here I feel like, okay, it was kind of different worlds or whatever, but they all knew kind of about each other. So I'm kind of confused about how much Portal Fantasy it was. Because normally Portal Fantasy is going to another world to escape from your reality. That's the definition normally of Portal Fantasy. Because, for instance, Stargates, if you know that show, it's not Portal Fantasy, but they use some kind of gate to go to different planets, but it's still that's what I yeah, like exactly, yeah, exactly. We're on the same, yeah. Exactly. So it's not like a Portal Fantasy, but it has portals, making it easier to travel from one place to another. And they all have different beliefs, and they all have like gods and goddesses and different like customs and everything. And I really love how vast it seemed to be. But it's like it has portals, but I would not call it Portal Fantasy. The Imperial frigate was moored around through Trodia once. I still don't know how to pronounce that, which immediately had me thinking of Star Wars. They were the Empire with a Star Destroyer and city destroying weapon on board. Yes, that's the sci-fi that I felt. Yeah, I like going into books blind, so I tend to skip the synopsis. That's good. That's good. That's a nice like strategy. That felt more like wormholes to me to a different area in the same world. Stargate is I love Stargate. I rewatched Stargate and Stargate Atlantis and everything. I love the shows. It's not really a Portal Fantasy, I think, because Portal Fantasy is kind of going through a portal into another world, and here it's more like transportation method. Exactly. Oh, that's okay. It wasn't like a criticism or whatever. It's just like, so we're all on the same page. Because even I wasn't sure at one point, because like magical realism, we talked about it. Like many people just use those kind of subgenre to describe things, but it's actually not the right way to use them or categorize the books or whatever. So I just wanted to ask, just so we're all on the same page. Um, but yeah. Also, um, I felt confused a lot of the time reading that book, because like as we talked about like yesterday, I read another book that was quite that had like similarities to this one, so I was a bit confused at parts at some point or whatever. And also, so that's at the very beginning of the book, Larissa, so no worries. Like, Danielle, you talk about the skipping parts or whatever. At one point, there is like we go like 5 years forward. Okay, so basically, you have Kosowe, who is there to be sacrificed to the unspoken one, so her god or whatever. So she was found like very little, and then at her 14th birthday, she has to be sacrificed or whatever. And then you have that wizard that come to actually save her and give her the opportunity to actually have a different like future, whatever. And he's basically like in Throne of Glass, kind of being like, oh, if you go with me, if you blah blah blah, you're gonna be like my personal assassin or whatever. And this is something that I don't like. Like, I have an issue with assassins in books, like I had in Throne of Glass, like I had in Never, Nevernight, whatever. But the thing that was weird here is that then we have a huge like 5 year gap in which Kosowe is actually being trained and just acting as that wizard's kind of like assassin or whatever, just personal something. But we don't read much about it. And I feel like it is something we should have read about a bit more, because I feel like we had Xoe, who her entire life she was in some kind of coven or whatever. Like she did not know what was outside. So she was kind of naive. She didn't know what the outside was. She was like a kid, but still she was 14. And then she becomes someone's assassin, and she learns about the world, and she discovers things, and she tries things, and blah blah. And we don't read about that. Even though I don't like assassins, I would have loved to read about that, to learn why she was so loyal to that wizard. Because I feel like she was very, very, very loyal, but I would have loved to read about that bond that they created. There was a lot of babbling. I picked this up in February 2021 because of the Booktuber hype wagon, so I had no clue what it was about when I read it for your book club. Orcs, tusks, gates, and magic was a huge surprise. Yes, that's a thing. I was not expecting anything from this book because I did not know what it was about, and I was not expecting all of that, especially like for a debut. Because keep in mind that this is a debut novel, and I find it pretty fascinating. The necromancy magic and other magic from the other gods was interesting. I love that they all had different customs and beliefs and whatever, and I love that. I did love that. It added a lot to the world building, kind of the background of everyone's, and I loved learning about it through especially what was her name, Shusmiti. Wait, like what was her name again? Shusmiti. Shusmiti. Uh, wait. Whoa. was her name? Oh, it's not here. Sushmidi. You know who I mean. Yeah, Sushmini. Exactly. Thank you. The 5 year jump forward was when it got it hooks into me. Suddenly there was more going on as they came to visit the Berkshire world. There were hints of flying ships, and I was all in. Yes, yes. So yes, I feel like that's where the story picked up. Because at the very beginning, like it almost like I feel like everything we've read in the part before the 5 year gap could have been like we talked about it during Yumi's live show yesterday, and she talked about like the importance of a prologue in books, and I feel like the beginning could have been a prologue, obviously a shorter one, and the story could have started at that point, and then as the book would have been shorter, we could have had more backgrounds and more explanations regarding things. But that's just my opinion. I like assassins. That's absolutely right. Like that just like that's something that never really worked for me. I don't know why. Maybe because the training never feels right, or there is always something like, oh, I'm better than anyone, or just that kind of vibe. But yeah, yeah, we skipped the training montage and went straight to Kasaway to being a total badass. Yes, and that's the thing. I would have loved to see her just struggling a little bit, but then still adapting and just getting better and better and sure about herself and getting more and more confident and skilled and everything. I just love when you read about that, like we have in Malice. He doesn't know anything at the very beginning, and then he goes through trainings and everything, and he just gets better and better, and it's just not overnight, and you see the main character struggling like you have also in Aragon and in so many things. And I just love that because that's when you actually, I feel like you get attached to the characters and you kind of um I don't know, feel for them. Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Yes, shush, shush. I love the interactions between Kosowe and Tal. I love the sarcasm and snark. I really love, like, we can talk like very quickly about your favorite characters, but I really loved Tal. I really love, what was her name? Orana and Shush. I love this all three of them because I feel like Shush added some like something fresh, light to the story, and I really loved um, her interactions in general. And then Orana added that kind of like not teacher kind of thing, but just like in some way a leader of some kind. And then you had Tal that was very like, as you said, like sarcastic, and he has, I loved his sense of humor and everything. So I really love that trio, and I feel like all three were actually my favorite trio. And it's so weird because it doesn't include Kosorwe, or whatever. And I was just like, ooh, that's weird. No, I would not describe it as steampunk. Yeah, no. For me, it was a prologue that was most fascinating, and then it all became a bit too fast for me and not deep enough, if that makes sense. Yes, it does make sense because that's the way you felt first. And yes, I feel like it wasn't um, deep enough, but also, like I wrote here, not enough of Kosowe and the wizard. But yeah, I felt like we had a lot of information regarding a lot of things, but nothing very deep. And that's what I expect from actually the sequel, because this is a duology, and I feel like in the second one we might get more regarding the world. Turned at regular intervals, so the librarian became the big bad, did an ally, and then wow, we need to go to book two. Yes, we do need to go to book two. I'm gonna probably pick it up soon. But yeah, absolutely. Arana was my fave. Yeah, Tal was my fave. Kasoe and Tal were my faves. Yeah, rather partial to Shush very very quickly, and I wasn't there for that aspect. Um, what do you mean by rather partial? I don't understand. Sorry, that's me not understanding what you mean by that. Um, but I feel like there was like Kasoe was very very fast intrigued by Shush when they went there with Tal. I feel like they were something. I did not understand the click, the thing why she got very intrigued. I did not understand that. So I don't know if that's what you mean. Also, like the grumpy part. Yeah, I feel like it's almost like all the side characters were described in more depth than Kersowe in some way. Even though, like, if you want to go into details, I feel like she was very constant at the same time, because I feel like she made a lot of decisions because she needed to make them. It wasn't about the taking like the good decision, the right one or the wrong one. It was to actually take a decision, to make a decision with less consequences, bad consequences as possible, whatever. But she made decisions, and every time you could actually feel that she was making them with her background in mind. You could hear her like thinking about things. I feel like she was very constant and believable, and that she was actually holding her baggage, like, if that makes any sense, um, while making decisions. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah, the attraction between Soe and Shush is what I meant by getting rid of brush. Okay, yeah, I did not. Sorry, I'm just learning expressions here, but I did not understand how come she was like so intrigued at one point and so into that person and everything. I did not understand. I did not see the click. I did not see where it switched. But yeah, didn't really like Satani because he just uses Soe and Tal. Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like we have not read about him that much, and like we've just read about some of the interactions, and that he had saved Kosowe, that he offered them something, and that he gave them enough money, even though, like, we learned through Kosowe or Tal or other characters, but I feel like we did not spend enough time with them. So it's not that I don't like him or that I like him or whatever. I just don't know. Why is it all blurry? Oh no, the settings have changed. Oh, camera. But I don't know how I feel about him. I just don't know how I feel about him. Mention a side character and I instantly remember great scenes. Parza and the Cursed Book, Asha's Companion and the Revenant on the Precursor World. Scenes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I feel like we got so many other things, like so much in depth, but not everything that we needed information for, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But I feel like the writing style was quite atmospheric and kind of made me realize that I enjoyed it. But it was like, okay, so as much as I enjoyed that book, that might be like an unpopular opinion here. I feel like it is a hard book to recommend. honestly. Like, I enjoyed it. But now, if you'd ask me who you would recommend it to, I don't know. Because I feel like describing it as just adult fantasy is not enough. It adult sci-fi fantasy, it's not enough. It, because of the writing style not matching what you would usually expect from fantasy and sci-fi. And I feel like, as I said at the very beginning, the writing style was very calm and quiet. I don't know if you agree with the fact that it's a hard book to actually recommend. Yeah, I wrote a very long and epic journey. I do want to know more about him, even if I didn't like him. Yeah, I want to understand him. The Curious Book was great. Yes, it was. It really was. Has come to visit the girl. Oh, hello, kitty. Oh, you black kitty. Yeah, in my wrap up, it's basically like if you want a fun, fast ride as a sort of palette cleanser between deeper, denser stuff, yes. Or romance, fantasy, sci-fi, yes. Yes, it is. Like queer romance, yeah, absolutely. Yes, you also can't say much about it because of spoilers too. Yeah, it's a very like, in order to describe that book, you should go a bit much in, like a bit more into details, but you cannot because spoilers. Um, but at the same time, like, was it right? Because I felt like the majority of everyone there was not human, and I feel like that's not. Is it? I do you have another book that's like that? I'm trying to find another like adult. Yeah, there. Yeah, no, okay, never mind. I found a few, but yeah, I feel like it was a very unique debut novel, and I'm very curious to see how the sequel is and how the other series are gonna be, because I found them very interesting. But I found very quiet and calm, and even though there was always something happening, I felt like it was actually a bit stagnant at parts, and it felt a bit like almost like, because of the writing style, almost like a dark fairy tale, with a sacrifice and blah blah blah. So I felt like it was almost a dark fairy tale at one point, but that might be the influence of Nettle and Bone that I've just read. Yeah. See, that's really that's hard. That's a hard book to recommend. Yes, yes, but at the same time, I feel like I need more information on the background regarding the species of everyone, or all the magical abilities and all everything, because I feel like I'm confused, and when I'm confused, I tend to mix up everything, and I and I don't like that because it feels almost like I have not read the book carefully. Um, Are they all orcs? If so, why do some have tusk and some don't? What difference are there between cultures? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's something that I would not say that they all orcs. I did not understand that from the story. For me, they're different. Um, but I want to know why that many that like it feels like many different cultures with different beliefs and everything, but at the same time they can still like understand like I was confused, Cleo. I was just as confused as you are here, and I feel like that's what we're gonna get in the second book. I hope so. I hope the sequel is gonna give us like more background regarding that. Hello, John. Hope you're good. But yeah, I'm reading like my notes to. Yeah, I miss more cultural background regarding everyone. Um, I think I've said a lot of things already here. For me, I had a vision of the underground, like underworld, with Hades. But I like I need a sequel actually to understand everything. I need the sequel because I'm glad that I'm not the only one who is a bit unsure about what they've read, but also I feel like, do I like being unsure? Or is it the lack of background story that we actually needed? Was it essential information we should have had? Or is it something that's just like useless and would have just been like information dropping, and maybe we'll have some more information in the sequel, maybe not. So I have many questions. Powers and Church people were really small and Tall has pointy ears. And Tall like elves, I really like that. I didn't mind that. I can imagine some details myself. Yes, like that's the thing. Like that's something that I don't really mind about like physical like details or whatever, because I'm one of those who cannot. I don't see pictures. Like when I read something, I don't see pictures. I don't see images. I don't picture anything, if that makes any sense. I just don't see it. But I love to put words on things or concept on things. So if you tell me that one is a dwarf, one is an elf, one is a whatever, at least I know. When I don't know, as I cannot picture things, I get confused, and for me they all the same. But I know it was not the case. So that's why I need just like a spreadsheet and being like, that person is that, that person is that. Stargates will lead to all sort of different stories and worlds. Yes. Oh no, I want to rewatch Stargate. I really want to rewatch it. But yeah, absolutely. I love that there are different worlds and everything. I do love that. But I feel like we should know whether they're all orcs or not, but I'm expecting more info on the on the maze and the dying world in the sequel, and that's fine for me. Yeah, I feel like the same, and I'm pretty sure they're not all orcs. I'm pretty sure there were just enough details to me. Wouldn't have mind more info, but also didn't really miss it. Okay, makes sense. I'm happy. I do like being unsure when I feel like it's being revealed to me. For example, the first visit to the precursor world hinted at flying ships, and this got built upon later, so I enjoy the mystery. So maybe we'll like when we're gonna be reading the sequel, it's gonna be like, ooh, oh, I see now. I do understand. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. There is still stuff to discover in the sequel this way. Yes, true. True. And it's very much intriguing. And it's very windy. I feel like it's going to be a bit stormy, and I'm happy. Sorry. When I read the Expense books, I hear the actor's voice from the TV show in my head. Oh. Oh, I love that. I don't hear, like, I hear my voice. I cannot hear makeup voices or whatever. Oh. Stargate Universe was my favorite series in that Stargate cinematic universe. Mm. Who was your favorite character in the Stargate universe? I love Tilk. The Gold. Also really like the giant snake. Almost forgot about her. Hope she's coming back in the sequel. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Okay, maybe I need to read a sequel. I feel like this is a kind of series that you have, like, we're lucky it is a duology. You know, if it was like a 5 long book series or whatever, I think I would have. No, I think I would have still continued with the series, to be fair. But yeah. Okay, let's go maybe through the spreadsheet so we can like rate like the characters, like all the thing, whatever. we've been already talking for 40 minutes. Every time I'm just like, yeah, we're not going to be talking for that long or whatever, but we always end up talking a lot, and I just love it. Yay. Wait, I'm going to make it bigger. Yeah, so you can all read everything. Wait. These live streams seem to encourage positive vibes about a book. Oh, I mean, the thing is that, I mean, I hope we'll never get to read a book that we all hate with every single cell of our body. But yeah, I just love that we still like find, I mean, good things about a book. And even if some things were missing, like, I'm sorry, the 5 years gap, I feel like that should have been a bit more explained, because it would have allowed us to get that loyalty. Because yes, that wizard saved Kosoe from her death, but, and also like that ghost thing that happened with all the sacrifice person, I found it like, wait, where is it in the story? Larissa, I'm sorry, but I feel like if you're here, we're gonna get... I'm not sure what it was in the story. I'm sorry. I don't know. There were parts that were weird and creepy. I wait for what you all are saying. Mood, a duology that I can binge. I might have to read it soon. Yeah, so it's just a duology. I thought it was more books for some reason. No, so far it is just a duology, unless they come up with something new that was not supposed to happen. It is just a duology, and I feel like it's a very nice ride. It's like, I mean, don't compare it to that, but I feel like it's a lot of little things leading to something way bigger. And it's like almost the journey that the hobbits have to go through in Lord of the Rings, or I'm sorry, Cleo, but like in The Hobbit or whatever. It's a long, epic journey that might seem very slow, but there is always something happening. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like it's very enjoyable. That's okay, don't worry, you're here so you can talk about it. Don't worry. It's just like, if you like to just do it. If you know that you're gonna miss the live or whatever, that's an opportunity for you to actually share your thoughts, but it's not an obligation. Oh, you're reading while we're talking? The first book reads very quickly and easily. Yes, absolutely. What has just happened in the book, Larissa? The prison. Okay, let's go. So, everyone, was it the first time reading? You were all reading it for the first time? I know you read it in 2021. Have you reread it for this time, or no? Like physical book for the majority. I mean, for everyone here, everyone finished the book. No one DNF'd the book, right? Is there someone who DNF'd the book in life? First time. Oh, this was your... Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, what book we were talking about then that you've read in 2021? Oh, it was your first time reading in 2021. Oh, it was another book. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up everything. But yeah, okay, first time, everyone. Okay, what about the characters? Out of 10. 3 Booktube, but I have to... Yeah, I know, you have to wait till February. That's why I'm like, I want to read it now, but at the same time, I might wait for February so we can actually have like casual like Howling Pack buddy read in February when it comes up, or like in March. But I might read it. I don't know. Yeah, the audiobook was good. Okay, so here we have 2-7 and 1-5. That's interesting. Oh, okay. You bought the Unspoken one in February. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. I knew there was like a 2021. Okay. Sorry for the confusion. 8 for crack. That's fine. You maybe you just did not connect to them when you think. I feel like for me it would be more like more of a 7 for me. It will be more of a 7. Why? Because the focus was on Kosowe, but I feel like the other characters were like the focus was not on them. Like the focus was on our main character, protagonist, whatever. But I enjoy the description of the others more. So it's a 7, which is pretty decent. Yeah, this bell is just me going with the flow because I never rate individual aspects. Yeah, absolutely. It's fair. They were not detailed. I agree. I was missing some background, and also it felt a bit repetitive because like even though, as I said, like Kosowe was pretty consistent, because like she kept in mind, like you could see that every time she did something, she said something or whatever, she stayed very loyal to the wizard. And also she was like, I was like born in that kind of like almost like cult to whatever. I mean, it's not a cult, but to be sacrificed or whatever. And she had that in her, so almost like a trauma. But at the same time, okay, at one point we understand. I don't know how to explain, but I feel like 7 is enough for me. Atmosphere now. What about the atmosphere? So we have a 7, we have an 8, we have a 6. I feel like I'm gonna end up with a very high 3 stars, actually, even though I feel like it is a 4 stars. But I would go with 7 again, personally. Also 8, yes, a high number for me. I love the environment. Yes. I don't even remember my answer anymore. That's fair, absolutely fair. I think I would go with a 7 because I felt like I loved the atmosphere and the vibe of it, but I felt like almost it wasn't matching. Like there was something that separates for me the writing style and the story, because it wasn't matching, if that made any sense. But writing style, we got 2, 7, and 1, 8. For that, I would go with 8, because even though it did not match the atmosphere for me, it was still very beautiful, and almost like I felt like it was almost like lyrical. Or is it just me? Like it was almost lyrical, but I love everything that was in it. It was a bit humoristic, it was a bit serious, it was a bit blah blah blah. It was easy to read, but then it still felt dense. I don't know. That's maybe just my brain being weird, but I feel like it wasn't like it was easy to read the book, but it wasn't the easiest writing style, in my opinion. A2. I hate lyrical, so it definitely was far enough away from lyrical. Yeah, I feel like it felt that way a bit. It doesn't mean that it was lyrical, but it felt lyrical. I think it's just my weird brain. What about the plot? I mean, we talked about many things here, but not all the consequences and everything. So we have 2, 7, and 1, 8. it felt very freely for me. I recently read a book that was very muddy in its writing style, so this performed well. Yes, yes. You can see that. I mean, every single book has shows like the work that the author put on, like on the work, on the story, but also like the editing and publishing house or whatever. You can like, but this one felt particular, like well thought, if that makes sense. um but yeah, 7 because it jumped a bit sometimes. Yes, I think it's 7 for me as well. It's a 7 for me as well. um yeah, I like the scenes, but I'm with Judith and jumping around. Yes, I feel like that's what bothered me. Like, I feel like the twists were there left and right. There was some kind of line, but it was like an inconsistent line, you know? Like they were jump. Yeah, I agree with all of you. Intrigue 8 and 9. That's pretty high. I would go with 8. Because again, but that's also like I'm very much intrigued. Like I was very much intrigued while reading the book. I wanted to know what was going to happen and what was happening and what happened and everything regarding the characters and the fates and everything. And I'm still very much intrigued because have many questions regarding the world. And you know how usual, like sometimes you have so many questions at the end that you're just like mad at the author because like, why do you have so many questions at the end of the book? You wish for at least a few answers or like something enough to chew on, you know what I mean? So I still have so many questions and I'm still very much, I mean, it's like just the intrigue of a book. Here I'm like extrapolating to the intrigue in general, but I feel like I was intrigued. That's basically what I'm saying. Logic 9, 8, 7. I think I would go with 7 for me because yeah, I want to find out what happens next, so I'm intrigued. Yes. For the logic, I want to go with 7. Why? Because I don't think anything felt very illogical in the book, but because of all the questions regarding like the different species, the different beliefs, the different world, etc., the fact that I have so many questions regarding the core of the world building, I know it doesn't really have to do with logic, but it does in my brain. Like I need answers. I may be a bit lower on this because I didn't always understand the motivations of the characters. Yeah, that too. That too. You never truly knew if it was like because they were supposed to do that. Was it for their personal gain? Was it because of their beliefs or whatever? I feel like it was. Yeah, I agree with that. They were not that, like, as I said a few times, Kasoe was pretty consistent, but at the same time, you don't know why some decisions were the decisions they made. So, yeah, because you miss that info action seem to happen more than that you understand why it is happening. Yes. Yeah, because you miss that info action seem to happen. Yeah. 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 Enjoyment 8, 7. Well, I will go for a 8, to be fair. because I really did enjoy the book and I read it in no times. I feel like I read it in 3 sittings, which is actually showing how much I enjoyed it. So we have 2 4 stars and 1 3 star here. Let me check for me. Wait, where is my calculator? 10 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8. Set point. Yeah, so I'm 4 stars. I have 7.43. So for me, it ends up being like a 4 star. 8 here, enjoyed this a lot. Run through it. Yes, yes, absolutely. Okay, so here we have a little bit of explanation. This was super fast paced, making it easy to fly through tons of pages at a time without feeling the need to take a break. At no time did it feel like a chore to continue. That's your comment, I think, Leo. I do feel like we could have gotten more character work. This is definitely a plot-based story, and we get character work as it suits the plot, but we don't necessarily dive super deep into the inner world of Kosowe, nor do we see her character develop a lot throughout this. Yes. So truly, I would have preferred for there to be more of a transition between the parts. Each part clearly felt like its own storyline, and while it did all feel like a cohesive whole in the end, during the reading itself, it sometimes felt a bit episodic like this. Yes, I agree with that. I really agree with like the jumping and everything. And don't be sorry for the length. I love it. I love it. I would have loved getting to know the different cultures and religions a bit better. Same. I like the twist, for example, and seeing the different ways in which characters use these to express their identity. But this really was just a tiny, underdeveloped element that I feel could have added more depth to the world. Yes, especially because it is mentioned. You know, as it is mentioned, it feels like a bigger deal than it appeared to be. So I need more explanations. I agree. I liked how characters were allowed to make their own choices and how it was clearly pointed out that they would let people make their own decisions. I love that. Quite tired of seeing characters make decisions for other people's good without respecting that other person's choice. Yes. Yes. I did feel we were left wondering who'd survived a few too many times. Some characters kept on returning that way, leaving me to feel like no major character was ever really in danger towards the end of the book. Would be nice to use the existence of revenants to have a major character killed off and returned like that. Yes, again. See? Yes, again. Like, I feel like because of all of that, the stakes were not that high. You know what I mean? It exactly that. Exactly that. Okay, second comment here. Okay, so the atmosphere in the very first chapter was so strong. I loved it so much. Then it went a bit downhill for me. I was excited until the end and it was never boring, but it lacked in the atmosphere for me. Also, the characters had not enough depth and background for me, so I didn't care as much as I would have otherwise. Also, the plot became a bit too chaotic in the end. Overall, I give it 3 stars because I still had a good time reading it and I really love the thing about the gods and the temple and all that. But I don't know if I need or want to read the second book because I think I'm kind of okay with this open ending. And this is yours. Yes, I recognize. Yes. But now, how do you feel? Do you feel like you want to read a sequel or you good? Even after a conversation? In the end, I agree. This knocked it back on the rating in the start. Yes, the ending was. Yeah, it's not even rushed. It's really chaotic. I agree. You know, at one point I thought that, but and yeah, but I mean, of course, no, but I definitely want to read the sequel. Yeah, I do too. Ah, no, I kind of want to read it. Yes. And continue like a zombie with the necromancy magic. That's what I thought at one point. Or maybe I was hoping for it. So the last one is I overall enjoyed the book, but sometimes it was a little bit the same over and over again. The pacing was fine. I read 20 pages a day to finish it just before the live, so I still know stuff. I really want to read the second one to see where it's going, but I don't need to read it right now. I don't think I have a favorite or least favorite character. Fair. Yes, I feel like yeah, so there was not really something that anyone hated about that book, which is good. Because I feel like I think the rating it has on Goodreads is like 3.75, but it was not read that much because I feel like that series or that trilogy, or at least the first book, was very hyped at one point. Let me just yeah. It was very hyped at one point, but I feel like it was not even read 7,000 times, which I don't understand because of the hype. So maybe it's just me. At the end was the most thing. I had the most ridiculous thing in my mind. Haha, I need some fan art to see what it's supposed to look like because I just imagine a super slow orc with a huge mouth. That's pretty much how I imagined it. But if you find any art, please share it on the Discord, like the Howling Pack Discord, because I feel like many would actually enjoy that. And I expect that to be the maybe not the main thing, but one of the plot twists of the second book. Because 3 days, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, 3 days, but it could be the end of everything. It could be making her do things against her beliefs and things she doesn't want to do. And what does those 3 days? But also at one point, I'm like, maybe 3 days are actually longer in one world compared to the other. Oh, I don't know. I went into wild theories here. I bought the book because of all the hype. This was a perfect book club pick because I had it sat on my shelf already. Yes, I'm so happy. I just got the book actually. I bought the books like in November or December. No, I bought them in December because the broken binding was like reprinting them. The finally kissed. Yes, they did. They did. But yeah, I love that because of course we have like some recent release, like 1, 2, 3 per year, but I also try to go with like older releases because first they can be sitting on our shelves, but also they easily, I mean not easily, but it's easier to find them in like libraries and everything when it's like a bit older, if that makes any sense. So it's accessible in some way. Yeah, the mouth thing, I feel like as a whole was so different and everything was so different, we needed like some kind of illustrations or actually better descriptions. Yeah, I think this 3-day service will set the plot in book 2, or because Kosoe is very loyal till the very end because she goes against what the wizard wanted her to do, or like mid book or tutored in it or whatever, when she goes away from the place or whatever, when she was supposed to stay put or whatever. And I feel like in the sequel, or it would be the beginning of the book, or it would be a huge part in which she becomes herself 100% and doesn't feel as loyal to anyone or as, I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like that would be like the main thing. Like she will do things for herself, or also it could be something that she doesn't want to do, or it could be something that is against what someone else wants to do. I hope you enjoyed that scene, by the way. what I disliked, so we at some point said she kind of likes the idea of having a scar, and because she didn't articulate why, it felt like she just wanted it to look though. Yeah, but I feel like she just wanted to have like the way, like at one point I was like a bit I did not, oh sorry, I'm saying sorry to the table, to the desk. I like at one point I was like, yeah, maybe you could just heal it and make it disappear, whatever, so it's just like you people don't see it. But she was like, I want it to be a scar. I want it to be the proof that something happened and that I survived it. And that's when I understood that a lot of her decisions, whatever, were made by her carrying her 14 years of being like trained into being a sacrifice, if that makes any sense. So I was like, maybe that's her way of just making this Sam the decision to actually wear a trauma, and not a trauma that's, I mean, the trauma was put on her by someone else, but she made the decision to leave a mark and to be the survivor. But I get it. The Broken Binding special editions were so good, markingly beautiful. I almost caved and bought hardback books, which I do not ordinarily do. There are some, yeah, they gorgeous, the gorgeous. Would have been an opportunity for some conversation on accepting scars, showing part of your life journey, etc. Yeah, I agree that it was not, maybe not enough explained that way. That's how I understood, but again, it's my own interpretation. You're right. Yes. I keep on thinking of the Wizard of Oz when you say wizard. I'm sorry. Like the dude. Also, one row, know what Tal. I want to know what Tal is doing from now on. Yes, I love Tal, so I hope we're gonna get more info in the sequel. And then Trish and chased after the librarian and went through the portal to end up in Seth's castle. I went, huh? Yes, that's a thing. That's all the portal thing that kind of threw me off, because I was just like, but yeah, I had the same reaction. I had like the same reaction. I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, oh, do I need to reread the few sentences because maybe I missed something or whatever? But yeah. But a funny one, a sarcastic one. Ooh, plot twist. I don't do romance, no interest at all. In fact, my last book had far too much rumpy bumpy for my taste. So the swish hand holding snugging was very tedious for this reader. Fair. I just like, I really focus on the rest of it, but I do feel you on that. It was, I don't know. It's not what we wanted to read. The dude just makes me think of the Big Lebowski. There is no winning with my brain. The savior, the person who saved Kasowe. I mean, his name is Betham. Like, how do you pronounce that again? Old names. Belthandros Setene. It's written here, a wizard. I can call him the wizard. But yeah, focus. I need to change the settings again. I don't know how come it changed itself. Seth. Yes, let's call him Seth when it's the end of this live show. But yeah, I feel like I talked about everything I wrote down. I talked about the pronunciation guide, dark fairy tale, stagnant, influence from the beginning, not human, the map, the portals, the 5-year jump, Oranatal and Shush, multiverse, space, fantasy, multi-cross universe with different species, magic, gods, etc., etc. So yeah, I think I've talked about everything. I quite like the tagline on the cover: priestess, assassin, traitors. And I was strictly referring to that, working out what stage of the book we were at. Oh fuck, I just realized that. I just I did not pay attention to that quote. I did not pay attention to that at all. But now that you're saying that, the different stage of the book. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Camera, stop. I did not realize that. Wait. Yeah, let me check. Is wait, where is this? Mage heretic monster. Fuck it. Favorite scenes: the Revenant chase and the Imperial frigate. Did you say frigate? Frigate. Frigate. Sorry. Yes. Destroying the entire area with the power of the good mind was probably mine. Yes, it was pretty. I think one for me would be the first one, the Revenant chase. It will be that one that I enjoyed the most reading about, like, and everything. Yeah, like the first one, the Revenant chase. But I can absolutely see like the second one as well. But what is everyone's favorite scene? Mine will be the Revenant chase. Yeah. I want to know. Yes, the past chosen rise was pretty creepy. I loved it. I loved it because we kind of got an answer as well of what was really happening as well, or somehow, because we didn't know, because you could even imagine that no one would die or anything. So yes, actually, so I think we're gonna get from the three perspective. But the first sentence is: could you sacrifice your dreams to escape a nightmare? And like, it's about Xoe, Shosh, and Tal all together. But I think like the focus obviously will be on the three of them. I feel like Shosh is going to be like the one maybe influencing the fate of everyone, because yeah, I'm just really scared that it will be like too romancy in a way. That's one of my yeah, but I feel like the second one will be darker. We'll get maybe more questions than answers, maybe a bit more about the romance, but definitely more about the underground, or like the death world and maze or whatever. Yeah. I think yeah, it would be the Revenant chase, the brides. I feel like these were like very good scenes. Don't know too many good scenes. Big snake killing the temptation part and all the curses. Yeah, I feel like it was like there were many very good moments, but I love the split edges of that one as well. But yeah, beautiful, right? Gorgeous. Yeah, the romance is also my worry for the second one, but angst is over, so hopefully it will be less annoying. Yeah, but the thing is that I really hope that it's not gonna be about all like oh, I need to do that in order to save her. Oh no, I cannot take that because it's too risky for her. Just I don't want any of that. Um, but we have like because of Mage, Heretic, and Monster, we need to read the sequel, right? We do need to read the sequel. Also, like the scene where they're trying to get the Liquory Annie to break the words. I mean, there were so many scenes or moments or actions or whatever that I enjoyed. But yeah, the spread edges are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I feel so dumb. I feel so dumb, but that's why I love those kind of live shows, because you just get different perspectives and everyone pays attention to different things. And I did not think about it, because usually what's written is like, I don't know, but thank you for that. Thank you. I did not realize it. And the sequel is a bit shorter. It's less than 400 pages. It's less than 400 pages. So, it's not that big. So it's less than 400 pages. Yeah. I even read the tagline during the live show. I did not realize it. And like the skeletons from the big snakes, yes. And the wolves, yes, yes, yes. I mean, there wasn't really like much I did not enjoy about this book, except like I feel like the romance was like a bit. But also when Tal was like, "Yeah, I'm sleeping with him," and I was just like, "Yeah, it was pretty obvious," but at the same time, what? I was just like, "Okay, sure, good for you." Like, I don't know. It just felt like a bit. I don't know. The escape from Lando in Cloud City was fun. Oh wait, wrong. I was like, wait, what? I feel like this book was also like it gave me like so many different book vibes, and like movie vibes and everything. But yeah, he does deserve someone. Like that's the thing. I don't care about the romance, but he does deserve something that he wants. Oh wait, I just realized that you could frigate in American and
Frigate.
frigate. It's pretty much the same British and American accent.
Frigate.
Never mind. I just realized I could change it. I'm almost done with the book. 12 pages left. Larissa, you're so impressive because you're actually reading the book for the live show, during the live show, and still listening to us. But that's impressive. And now I want to wait for you to just finish and let us know you're waiting. You're the confusing bit, Larissa. Yeah. What are we in the lignite spire part all of us? That's what, like, that's all the jumps, like time jumps, but also places and everything. I feel like there were some things I did not understand. Yeah. I feel like we need a description of the portals and everything, or something more to actually understand all the everything that's happening and everyone's species and the connections I between all the goddesses and gods and like monsters ish and whatever. We just need um I need I'm missing links. I'm missing links. Everything, like so much is happening. So much is happening. Yeah. I'm really pleased your pack members picked this one. It made me read a book I'm not sure I would have got to very soon otherwise. Yay! I'm so glad. I'm really glad. I'm really glad. Um, but yeah, but actually, like the way the books are picked is that like 3 months before, like let's say we're talking about the books we're going to be reading from January to June next year. I'm going to ask you in October, November to actually just drop all the recommendations you have, and then from there the snowstorms will the snowstorms will pick the books that are more interested in or whatever. But all the recommendations come from anyone on the Howling Pack Discord. So anyone can drop any recommendations. So, but I'm glad. The cover gave me Viking vibes, but it was a bit different. Yeah, like because of the horn aspect of that thing. Um, yes, yes, absolutely. I can see it on Viking covers. Yeah. Mm. Sail did the mind. I went pretty blind into it. Only knew it would be queer. Yes, I no, I knew it. I knew because it was tagged as LGBTQIA plus on Goodreads, so I knew from that. But yeah, no, I'm just like talking because I just want to know what Larissa think of the ending. So we need my Jess and Marta to get certain books in. To brighten, yeah, you do, like, because everyone's suggestions and recommendations or whatever ends up in a big Google Sheet or like a Google form or whatever. From so I answer everything, and then they pick the books they are most interested in or whatever. Then they pick the books that they think everyone will enjoy. Then they pick the book that if they only had the choice, the opportunity to pick one, which one it will be. And then I do some math and whatever, and I pick like the 6 books. But yeah, you need to influence the snowstorms to actually get something right. I didn't know it, and it was a very good surprise. Nice. I love when that happens. I think I have your September book, King of the Wild, so I'm ready for that series now too. I'm so excited for that. I mean, I'm excited for every single book that's on that list, and that book has been on my TBR since I feel like G read it a few years ago, and I'm very, very intrigued. I'm also scared because I don't know how I will feel about it, like every single book. But it's like I know that the next one, Project Hail Mary, I will enjoy because I mean I don't know actually. I think I will enjoy it, but I'm not sure 100%. But yeah, yes, I love it. Love it. I have the ebook of Project Hail Mary, but I think I'm gonna buy like the physical book as well and listen to the audiobook because I bet the audiobook is as good as The Martian was. Well, I hope it is. Larissa, where are you? How many pages left do you have? I want to know. While lots of fantasy readers like it. Yeah. 6th grade. Okay, almost done. I'm going to read Project Hail Mary as I love The Martian and Artemis, but I was waiting for the paperback, so we'll have to see what price the ebook is. Yes, fair. When is the paperback coming out? Soon? No, or is it not? But yeah, I have not read Artemis. So I'm very curious about that one as well. But it's good to know that you enjoyed both. And what I heard about Project Hail Mary is actually to get to that book, to read that book without knowing much about what it is about, you know? So it takes you like a minute to read 10 pages. Maybe not of the Unspoken Name. The pressure. I think it comes out in paperback. Oh, shoot. The timing. The timing. Oh, shoot. I will write down to pay attention to that for this next 6 months. I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget about it, and I will pay attention to that. There is a paperback, but it's like the giant one. Artemis has a badass female character that I liked a lot. Ooh. I need to read it. I want to read it. It's hard waiting hardback hype, then the trade paperback hype, and finally my desired paperback format. Yes, I can imagine. But you're very patient. I've heard bad things about the main character in Artemis. Emily Fox hated how she was written. Honestly, I have not heard anything about it, except that a lot of people enjoyed that book. That's all I have heard. I don't know. Really? Have it out from the library as well would be my first book by him, but I'm very excited. Yes! If you ever have the opportunity, like whether you like it or not, please listen to The Martian. The Martian is epic. It's epic. Very sarcastic. But our attempt before I really locked onto your booktube influences. Yeah. I don't know. I did not know that Emily Fox did not enjoy that main character, but I'm still very much curious. I want to read more. I mean, I'm gonna read it. I only know the movie. Oh, the movie was so good, but the other book and the book were as good as the movie. To be fair, like it was really well done. It was a good adaptation, I would say. So yeah, if you ever want to pick it up, pick the other book. Ooh. Well, you know what you can do. Twin. We have twins everywhere now. Okay, I'm just waiting for Larissa. I just want to finish this live with Larissa's point of view on the story and her rating. So I'll need to watch it. Yes, you do. I remember loving the very first line in the immersion book. I laughed a lot and tweeted about it from bed. Wait, what was it again? Do you still know what the first line is? I cannot remember. Wait. Wasn't it something like I'm fucked, or I'm I'm fucked, or I'm in a fucked up situation, or wasn't it something like that? Wait. Yes, I'm pretty much fucked. That's my considered opinion. Fucked. Yes. And I feel like that introduction, like introducing a book with a F word, that's pretty epic. No pressure, Larissa. Oh my gosh, how come like there was um like a new update or whatever, and the setting has changed. I need to fix that. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, see, that's boom. In bed, heard laugh a lot. Totally so. Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty much fucked. That's my considered opinion. Fucked. 6 days into what should be one of the greatest 2 months of my life, and it's turned into a nightmare. Yes. Yes. I don't even know who will read this. I guess someone will find it eventually, maybe 100 years from now. For the record, I didn't die on Soul 6. Certainly, the rest of the crew, though, I did. Thought I did, and I can't blame them. Maybe there will be a day of national mourning for me, and my Wikipedia page will say, Mart Watney is the only human being to have died on Mars. I just love that book. I just love that book. I need to buy it and to have it physically because I read the book. Just one of the best openings. One of the best openings. So, yeah. Love that. What a great setup. It's brilliant. No, I want to read it. So that's the whole thing. That's giving you like the tone of the book, but also like the personality of the main character. It's exactly that. Very like I loved it. I loved it. Larissa. Are you rereading the last few pages because you're confused? I finished it. Probably between the 3 and 4 stars. Would have loved more background of the characters and the world. I hope Tal finds love, and I want to kick sets in. Yes. Yes, a great way to finish that live. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm reading ebooks as tasted to maybe buying the full books if I enjoy it a lot, but I know that I want to read Project Hail Mary, so I have been holding off. I do have patience to wait for it, and I admire you for that. Yes, love those beginnings. I mostly struggle with beginnings of new books unless they are intriguing. Well, this one's going to be epic, I'm telling you. This is great, a live reading finish. Yes, I love how we all together. I mean, Shush is just the best. Epic moments, that ball kicking scene. Yes, glad to be of service. Nice. Oh yeah, Jadis. It takes a lot of work to get into a whole new setting. I like continuing with series I'm already familiar with because it's easier. Yes, set and shush. Yes. But yeah, well, we're done now. I can stop taking of your time. And again, I had so much fun talking about the book with you. I hope you had fun too. And I'm looking forward to the next one, which is Project Hail Mary, as we said many times. Book the September 3rd in your agenda, on your agenda, in your agenda. It's going to be at 7 p.m. CST as well. And I hope you will be there. And thank you again for everything else. Thank you for the discussions, and I will talk to you super soon. Yeah, I'm happy now too. Oh, you're welcome. Had a blast as always. I'm glad. But yeah, take care, Walls. Talk to you super soon.